So now I'm splitting the legs in half. So we're going down through the middle of the H bones there. And there you've got a nice shot of it. So now we're going to saw straight through the what's left of the spine and the tailbone. And then we'll just cut this in half now. Let's put the leg to one side. So I'm just pointing to that little bit of skirt on the side there. So we're just going to remove that. Of course that won't be wasted, that will go for manufacturing. And now we just remove that connective tissue there. And all the excess fat on top of the fillet there. Now I'm pointing to the top of the fillet, and I'm just scoring right the way down the side of the H bone there. I'm releasing that fillet, but I'm not taking the fillet off because the fillet will remain with the lamb chump. Or the lamb rump, as they like to call it these days. So I'm just splitting through that end vertebrae there, just to remove that. I like to do it this way. A lot of people will take this all off in one. Nothing wrong with that, but this is just my personal preference. Okay, so now I'm looking for the split between the oyster bone there and the tail. You see me just push it up there. Now we go down the back of the tailbone, just using the point of the knife, and off she pops. So we just trim the end of that H bone there. There's a little bit of meat just left on there. You won't be able to help that. And we'll put that with our trim. So now I'm taking off, well, what you would call on beef and pork, the spinal muscle. Not sure whether it's called that on lamb or not, but we'll call it that. And now just going through the Achilles tendon on the end there, and we're just going to saw off that knuckle joint at the end there. This is to a certain specification, so there are lots of different ways of doing lamb, but the farmer who owns this lamb wants it doing this way. So I'm just going to zoom in on this, because this is a really nice little urban butchery hack really, because a lot of people do have problems taking off the chump when it's bone on and getting the right angle, cutting it in the right place. So I'm just going to show you a different way of doing this. So what we're going to do is take the H bone off whole, as you'll see. So we're just working our way around that. And just nip that off. Nice and clean. Lovely. Now then, just watch this now. So I'm just pointing to the fillet there. So I'm just removing the top part of that fat there, just so you can get a better view. Just take that little bit of skirt off there as well. Bit of connective tissue. And now just the tip, just move the tip of that fillet. That's as far as you go. Now if you look where I'm sticking my thumb there in a moment, I'm pointing to the fat there, and I'm pointing to the end of the thick flank. So I'm just sticking my thumb inside of there. There's like a seam. So once I've done that, I can now actually see where I need to cut without taking any of the thick flank with the chump. So all I need to concentrate on is getting that leg straight. So if you look at the fat there, there's no meat left with the fat, and the meat is left with the meat. As you can see there, the end of the thick flank, what I'm pointing to there, is left with the leg. It's a little urban butchery hack for you. So there's one leg done. Now this customer wants this cut in to 2 pieces. Just cut that straight across. Because the chumps a bit later on, they'll go for steaks. Wow, look at the size of that leg. That's massive. Scrape any bone dust off there, very important. If you leave that on there and it goes in the fridge, it does have a tendency of turning green. So I'm just trimming the lamb chump up, or lamb rump. Pointing to the fat there, so there's no meat on there.